The draft, GOAT draft, week 13, GOATs in a bad way draft. Chris, I have the trivia question. The answer today is not Jim Turner. I'm still upset about that from yesterday.
You be salty.
Not me. I don't hold a grudge. Here we go. Shut up. Just shut up. Here we go. Russell Wilson now has the best winning percentage of any quarterback in Monday Night Football history with 81.8%. Which quarterback did he surpass last night? And I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
He's retired and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's retired and not in the Hall of Fame. Damn, that really hurt me. Whoa.
And it's not Phil Simms.
No, I almost went there for a second. He's retired and not in the Hall of Fame. I have no idea. I can't even think of that on the fly.
But he did play in the NFC East at one point.
He did play in the NFC East at one point. Donovan McNabb.
You're getting a lot of hints here.
I know.
You're getting a lot of hints
Go
here.
ahead. I'm interested.
It's Randall Cunningham.
Oh.
Close. Randall Cunningham.
Randall was, well, I know against my dad and the Giants back in the day, he was a pain in the butt with that defense and him making plays. Man, I used to love Randall Cunningham. Quick story, one year at the quarterback challenge, Mike, I was so obsessed with Randall Cunningham. I was a young kid. I followed him around everywhere. I mean, literally, I was obsessed with him. And like to the point where I was following him to his room at night. And he was like, hey, kid, get the hell out of here. Go to bed. I'm going to sleep. But awesome, and he's will always be a legend to me. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and he had that year out of football. Remember, he was working in Las Vegas installing kitchen countertops.
Right.
Came back to the Vikings as a backup, and then he had that 98 season, magical MVP consideration, got a new contract. It ended up falling apart for him in 99. He was a backup for several years after that, but he had a great run in the NFL. So
he did.
Russell Wilson passes Randall Cunningham. There's your answer to the trivia question. The answer to my question is, who's my first-round pick now that I've won the question by default? Freddie Kitchens. I got to go Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens, the Browns head coach. Look, the Pittsburgh started a T-shirt, not a good look. The fact that multiple Steelers players said after the game that they were motivated by it, that it was bulletin board material for them, not good. It feels like it's crumbling for Freddie Kitchens. That was a huge game. If they win that game, they're 6-6. The Steelers are 6-6. Different vibe going down the stretch. Now the Browns are 5-7. They're going to have a very hard time making it to the postseason. They're going to have a hard time having a better record than they had last year. They got some games coming up. They should be able to win. They got the Bengals twice, but they just need to focus. They need to try to win the next 4. If they could finish 9-7, maybe that gives them some hope going into next year. But it's on Freddie Kitchens for Sunday, and it could be that Freddie Kitchens ends up one and done. We've seen plenty of coaches over the years. People think it's rare. It's not that rare, and Freddie could be the next one.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not a good look for what happened last week. I mean, just, again, like Freddie's a guy I like, but this is just kind of adds to the talk around whether Freddie is prepared for the job. And they just, again, a head coach wearing that shirt and a sensitive topic and a big rivalry. I mean, just come on. You got to know you're the head coach. It's not really a big deal in everyday life, but it's a big deal in football world. And it's just something you shouldn't do as the head coach when the microscope is on you on a week in, week out basis. And of course, it's on Cleveland right now and him and the team and how they've underperformed and all of that. So I'm with you. That was a pretty bonehead move and deserves to be in the draft. All right, I'm going to go with Nick Foles. I got to put him in the GOAT draft. I mean, come on. He gets brought into Jacksonville to kind of be the savior there for Blake Bortles. It has not been good. And the last 3 weeks have been really borderline disaster. They haven't even been able to be competitive in a football game. So it's not even like there's nothing to look at right now and go positive. You heard me say earlier, I mean, he can't move well in the pocket. His arm looks average. He's made bad decisions. He's had bad awareness of what's around him in the pocket. I think that's the most troubling thing. So with some of these sack fumbles he had during the game, I mean, he's that one there. People are going to go, well, that wasn't his fault. Yeah, he started to go backwards in the pocket. This one, he's moving in the pocket. Yeah, they're coming after you. Secure the ball. He's GOAT in a bad way this week.
Yeah, and a guy who has
GOAT in a bad way. Get out of here. We got to change.
We just say goats. We have to say bad way because every week you think, it's goats in a good way, and it's kind of like a little tongue-in-cheek thing. Yeah. It's the GOAT draft. Okay. All right. You don't want to make the list. You're going to make the list if you keep it up. I'm going to go with Jim Schwartz, the Eagles defensive coordinator, an idea inspired by you and conversations we had about the inability to cover Devontae Parker on Sunday. A fairly important game for the Eagles. And I've supported Jim Schwartz getting head coaching consideration a couple of years ago. I was surprised that the Giants didn't give him a look-see when they were replacing Ben McAdoo. But Sunday's performance by the Eagles defense in Miami will do nothing to get Schwartz on anyone's good list. They didn't react. They didn't adjust. They didn't do anything. They let Devontae Parker shred them all game long. And look, I know they don't have a great secondary, but you could double the guy.
Yeah, that's the point.
You could try to you could take him away, do something. They did nothing. They just kept daring him to beat them, and guess what? He kept beating them.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what would have liked to have seen. And Jim Schwartz has been really good this year. I mean, they let up some points early in the year when they were banged up and injured, and then really as of late have played phenomenal football. And then just lay an absolute egg against the Miami Dolphins. And I think your point's very real. Like, hey, Mike Zimmer, he does what he does, right? This is my defense, and he doesn't change it a lot. But when he got to the end of the Denver game and the Dallas Cowboy game, he doubled Amari Cooper and Cortland Sutton because they were killing him. He said, I'm not going to let them beat us. At some point during that game, yes, I would have liked to have seen Jim Schwartz go, all right, this guy is absolutely shredding us today. I'm not going to let him beat us in this moment right here. Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to have to go to somebody else, and he had a field day, as in Devontae Parker. All right, Derek Carr will be my next one. I tried to defend Derek Carr a little last week in the New York Jets game because there was some big drops and some big moments and all of that. But, Sunday in that game, the interceptions he threw, and again, I'm not a stat reader, they were big. In the moment of it was big. I mean, hey, it's the first time you've had the ball and you throw an out route and really throw it like it's predetermined, like, oh, I saw this coverage all along and this should be open. Well, there's players on the field and you got to see throws, and to throw a pick that early against Tyrann Mathieu and then all of a sudden, bam, you're down 7-0. The defense is kind of hanging in there and keeping it in. It's 14-0, and then you throw a pick six because you kind of just go, well, all week this play was open against this coverage. I'm going to throw it. Well, the human beings know you were going to throw that too, and that was disappointing. So he put them in a hole early on that they just could not overcome.
Who's the starting quarterback week 1, 2020 for the Las Vegas Raiders?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. But, I mean, you're right. That's a real question. I mean, in John Gruden's history and everything I've seen and been around and the way Derek Carr has not exactly blown us away, it's been a good year, not a great year. Yeah, I would think Gruden's going to flirt with some people in the offseason. You know it. He's a flirty guy when it comes to quarterbacks. He is. He's going to flirt with some draft picks. He's going to flirt with some free agents. Either way, I think at the very least, if they don't just supplant him, there's going to be a guy that's in there that's going to be breathing down his neck this year. I think that's the thing you'll see more than anything. He's going to bring competition in there.
I got to get on to my pick, but if there was a board somewhere with all the odds of who is most likely to be the Raiders starting quarterback next year, and I'm not saying that this person should be high on the list. He would be a long shot, but I'd be tempted to put a sawbuck on Andrew Luck as the starting quarterback of the Las Vegas
talk
Raiders
him out of
2020.
It. Yeah.
Oh, and who could talk him out of it better than John Gruden? It'd be relentless.
It would be.
It?
Yeah. Oh, it would
Non-stop.
Be. Right. Right.
No state income tax, and look what we can do. And you're a smart guy, and you're a big guy, and it would be. And I'm gonna tell you what, the Raiders would be a lot better with Andrew Luck as their quarterback next year. All right, for me, round 3, hate to do it because I love the guy. He's great for the NFL, but Jerry Jones, you get the goat horns this week. All that stuff about Jason Garrett being in trouble, that was clearly a ploy to try to will the team to a victory on Thanksgiving against the Bills, and it didn't work. They didn't respond. It ended up being a failure. It ended up being a disaster, and he didn't mean it, right? If he meant it, he would have fired him after that game. And it was a misguided effort to talk the team to a victory, and it just didn't work. And at this point, and he's quieted down since then. What did Dak Prescott say? Talk is cheap. We got to get away from this constant discussion and speculation. And I know that Jerry Jones' attitude is any publicity is good publicity, and he does 2 radio spots a week, and he'll probably do one today in Dallas. But I just think that enough. And last week, it was, I believe, a calculated effort to try to put a red-hot poker onto Jason Garrett's rear end, and it didn't work, and now they're stuck. And the only good news for the Cowboys is the Eagles lost.
Yeah. It's I hear you. It's hard to argue. I think there was better ones out there, and that's why I'll win the draft right here. But the Dallas Cowboys.
Nobody gets an award. There's no plaque.
Relax.
Go ahead.
Relax. I want to beat
pick.
you every day anyways. I'm not sure here. I mean, I want to pick the Panthers front seven for getting absolutely shellacked against the Redskins and a team that can't throw the ball, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go down to old Chris Simmsville and pick a whole entire organization. You kind of did that right now. You took Jerry Jones, which is taking the whole Cowboy team.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's the owner.
He
it's the whole
created an
organization.
unwanted distraction that contributed to the loss on Thanksgiving.
Well,
That's
I'm
not
taking the whole Chargers team, okay? I'm taking them all. The coaches, the players, the owners, every one of them. That was the most damnedest Chargers loss ever. I mean, I've never seen anything like the Chargers. You know,
just because you picked them to win and I picked the Broncos, is that why you're upset?
No, I'm really not, and I totally forgot that. But three of the last 4 years, I've never seen a team find so many different ways to lose football games in crazy fashion. I mean, this one, Phillip Rivers, dumb interception early, a muffed punt. I mean, they had that and set up a short field. I mean, against Drew Lock, who hasn't played football since, late December last year. It's his first NFL start. And then to rally back and... Hey, listen, the pass interference call I think was a little bit questionable, but still, there's other issues with that play and how it was defended down the end anyways. And to lose that way, it was just the most Chargers loss ever and just disheartening for a team that continues to fight but seems to screw it up on a weekly basis.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.